5 News at Noon starts now.
Right now at noon, Arkansas agents seized thousands of illegal products from stores after a new law took effect banning certain THC products. Plus, former FBI Director James Comey has been criminally indicted by the Department of Justice. Thank you for joining us. I'm Morgan Wrigley here with meteorologist Noah Simmons. We made it to Friday. It looks like it's going to be a great night for high school football and a great day tomorrow for college football.
For sure, yeah, a lot of football going on. We still got those 2 fairs going on across the region, and really couldn't ask for better weather after the first active start to that week. Luckily, we get to calm things down heading into this weekend. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit. In fact, the headlines that we're going to be talking about is a sunny sky over the next several days, lower humidity, that's always nice, and we're also going to be talking about a fairly nice weekend as well. Now, earlier I was kind of looking at this thing blowing the wind. Looks like we got a little cobweb on our camera. Haven't seen a spider yet so far. He's probably a little camera shy. Understandable though, right? He's probably enjoying these comfortable temperatures like a lot of us are going to be doing later this afternoon, from 79 degrees in Ozark, 77 in Boonville, 80 degrees in Van Buren, and we're at 74 degrees in Bentonville. So very comfortable temperatures we're going to be talking about right there. And the Benton County Fair is still going on for just a couple more days. We're going to be seeing great weather for that, as those temperatures will slowly be falling into those 70s and 60s once we get past that sunset hour. And can't forget that Arkansas-Oklahoma State Fair happening for just a couple more days as well. We're going to be seeing a little bit warmer temperatures in the afternoon in those 80s once people are getting off work and heading out there for maybe dinner or any of those nighttime activities. We'll be seeing those temperatures fall off into those 70s and 60s. We're going to be talking about a slight warming trend over the next several days, and we're also going to be talking about the weather pattern that's going to be causing that right here in just a few.
Thank you, Noah. Well, Van Buren police are investigating a stabbing that happened early this morning. Police say a man forced his way into a residence on South 25th Street and stabbed another man multiple times. That suspect is now in custody and the victim being treated at a hospital. Police say they cannot release the name of the suspect yet. Well, the state of Arkansas has seized more than 6,000 illegal products off Arkansas store shelves after a new law banning hemp-derived THC products took effect this summer. The 8th Circuit Court of Appeals backed Arkansas' statewide ban on intoxicating substances made from industrial hemp. That means products like Delta 8 and Delta 9 gummies or vape cartridges are now off limits. The Department of Finance and Administration says its agents have already seized some of these products during routine checks after warning businesses that crackdowns were coming. Under the law, it's not just illegal to sell these hemp-derived THC products, it's also illegal to have them. Well, at the Arkansas Capitol, a subcommittee of lawmakers discussed 2 requests that would add 7 law enforcement roles to the state's Parks, Heritage, and Tourism Department. One of the items discussed would bring back a park sergeant role that's been vacant for years. The subcommittee voted to move that one forward. The other item would add 5 park ranger roles and another park sergeant role. No vote was taken on that one. The double homicide at Devil's Den State Park in July was brought up during the meeting, but the requests themselves don't mention any specific event that may have caused a need for increased safety measures. Leaders unveiled a new exhibit at the state capitol honoring the life and legacy of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. It will go in the 2nd floor rotunda and will be open until the end of October. In his statement, Secretary of State Cole Jester said the exhibit is about ensuring the message of someone who was assassinated is not silenced, but instead is shared louder than ever before. Well, both major political parties have now decided how they plan to move forward in filling the vacant Arkansas State Senate seat left behind by Gary Stubblefield, who died this month. Both parties have decided that they want to hold special primary elections. 3 Republican candidates have announced their intentions to run. Those are Mark Berry, Brad Simon, and Ted Tritt. No Democratic candidates have yet announced bids. Both sides of the aisle have said the focus in the primaries will be largely focused on the proposed Franklin County Prison. In Bentonville, the Best Friends Pet Resource Center is now taking reservations for weekly free vaccine and microchipping clinics. Every Wednesday from 9 to 12:30, cat and dog owners can bring their pets in for these important shots and care. To sign up for an appointment, you can visit the Best Friends NWA website. Well, this week, Springdale Public Schools celebrated the grand opening of a new building for Central Junior High. The entire student body, along with community members, gathered for a ribbon-cutting ceremony on Thursday. The new building spans more than 200,000 square feet and will serve 850 students in 8th and 9th grades. 6 elementary schools in Springdale will now feed into Central Junior High.
I left the old building, being there my whole career. Coming to the new building, a lot of people said, well, that's going to be difficult. It took me 3 days. 3 days, and I was like, I love this place. And this is a breath of fresh air. And that's probably why I'm still here, because I just love coming to work here.
The old building opened in 1976. Well, it's Friday, which means high school football teams are gearing up for some big games tonight. 5 News reporter Jacob Luthi has more on our game of the week between Greenwood and Shiloh Christian.
The Saints are marching into Greenwood. It's a rematch of last year's 6A state championship in which the Bulldogs were the victor. But every time that these two teams play, it's always a battle.
Kids play football for games like tonight. It's going to be a special environment. It's going to be two really good football teams. There's going to be a good football team that loses tonight.
Conference play is heating up in 6A, and it's a rematch of two of the best. The Greenwood Bulldogs and the Shiloh Christian Saints meet again after the Bulldogs dominated their last showdown, a 61-35 state championship win at War Memorial Stadium back in December.
They're really physical, and we like that, so we're going to be more physical. So, yeah, it's just a great game all in general, so, I mean, we just love it.
The back-to-back state champion Bulldogs will also be defending another impressive feat, their home field dominance. They haven't lost at home in over 70 games, a streak that dates back to 2014, and the players say it's personal.
We have a 72-game win streak, and teams, they want to take that from us. That's like that gives them pride if they take that from us.
A lot of teams and coaches before us that have built this streak and done a lot of things with this streak. And certainly streaks, they're important, but it just reminds us of who's been here before us, and I think it just gives us a little extra motivation to play maybe a little bit harder.
While Greenwood has gotten the better of Shiloh Christian in their previous few matchups, this is a new season, and the Saints feel like they have the offensive firepower to outduel Kane Archer and the Dogs. But Greenwood coach Chris Young says they're ready for a gritty battle on the field. He adds that defending home territory takes the whole community.
Our crowd is going to be awesome. It'll be Friday night at its best, and it'll be more than our football team like we've talked about, our community, our cheer and dance, our band. There's a lot more stuff that goes into Friday nights being special at Greenwood than just football team.
A self-proclaimed title town, but if Greenwood is looking for another undefeated season, they have to get through the Saints tonight. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. right here at Smith Robinson Stadium in Greenwood. Covering news where you live, Jacob Luthi, 5 News.
Thank you, Jacob. Investigators say the gunman in the deadly attack at a Dallas immigration facility targeted ICE agents and had been planning the shooting for months. Surveillance video captured chaos outside the Dallas ICE field office Wednesday when a gunman opened fire on a van carrying shackled detainees. Agents rushed in, pulling victims to safety. 1 detainee was killed, 2 others were critically hurt. Investigators say 29-year-old Joshua John climbed onto a nearby rooftop and fired with a legally purchased rifle before turning the gun on himself. Authorities later found anti-government writings and detailed plans showing that he intended to target ICE.
Clearest motivation for this attack are his own words. In his handwritten notes, he says, "I want to cause terror."
Investigators have since removed the ladder used in the attack. The DHS says new security measures are being discussed, but they haven't shared specifics. Well, President Trump is celebrating the indictment of former FBI Director James Comey, charged with making a false statement to Congress. Comey says he's innocent and plans to fight in trial. Natalie Brand has the latest.
President Trump lashed out at former FBI Director James Comey while leaving the White House this morning.
He's a dirty cop. He's always been a dirty cop.
His comments come less than 24 hours after Comey's indictment, a major escalation in the president's efforts to target political opponents.
This is about justice. He lied. He lied a lot.
There are costs to standing up to Donald Trump.
Comey has denied the charges against him, responding last night on social media.
I have great confidence in the federal judicial system, and I'm innocent. So let's have a trial and keep the faith.
He faces 1 count of obstruction of justice and 1 count of making false statements related to Senate testimony in 2020 in which he denied authorizing leaking information to the media. Shortly before the statute of limitations was set to expire in the case, President Trump publicly urged his attorney general to look into Comey and other political opponents.
You can bet your bottom dollar that the first motion Comey and his attorneys will be making is one for a selective and vindictive prosecution, and they've got the evidence there in the form of that Truth Social tweet.
The case was brought by a newly sworn-in interim U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan, a White House aide and former personal attorney to President Trump. Halligan, who does not have past prosecutorial experience, was the only one to sign the charging documents, which legal analysts say is highly unusual.
It's really hard to overemphasize at this point the gravity of this situation. American prosecutors, federal prosecutors, the DOJ is supposed to be an independent, apolitical body that's essential to preserve democratic values, precisely for the reasons we see playing out right here.
Comey is scheduled to appear in court October 9th. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Last night, at least one longtime assistant U.S. attorney in Virginia resigned, pointing to the decision to charge Comey as the reason. Well, if you're here this weekend, you don't have any plans, we have you covered. All you have to do is text the words Weekend Guide to that number right there on your screen, and we'll send you a list of the events that are happening in our area. You can also go to our website, 5newsonline.com, and click on the Weekend Guide tab to find that full list of events. And here's just a few things that are happening this weekend. Fair season, of course, still in full swing. You heard Noah mention it. There's the Benton County Fair in Bentonville and the Arkansas-Oklahoma State Fair in Fort Smith. There's also a fall art walk happening in downtown Springdale. And believe it or not, haunted house season is starting. The Asylum X Haunted House in Fort Smith opens this weekend.